How you guys doing tonight? Doing good? Doing good? This was a really good show tonight, man. This is the best of what Traverse City has to offer, okay? So if you expect anything more than this, just go to fucking Cadillac and get your heart crushed by a meth head that'll steal your wallet. You guys ever do that Ancestry.com bullshit? Anybody got that before? I did it the other week, and I just got my results back in. And I'm kind of disappointed because it turns out I'm gay. I had no idea that wasn't even an option, honestly. Well, they sent me a test. They said spit in the tube, and I wrote them a letter saying that I don't. So, makes more sense to me now that I think about that. No, actually, I did. I found out because before that, I knew that I was 40% Scottish and I was 40% Native American. I didn't know what the other 20% was. I figured it was probably like Bud Light and like Marlboro Lights or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But before that, I knew that I was Scottish and Native American, which are like two opposite cultures, and they clashed all the time. Like I didn't know my identity, my real identity. Like on Monday, I built a wagon, and on Tuesday, I burned it down. I just don't know what's going on. I got a kilt, it's made of deerskin. I got a loincloth that's plaid. I got a bagpipe, it's made out of scalps of dead Englishmen. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, guys. I grew up on a reservation between Charlevoix and East Jordan. I don't know if anybody knows there was a reservation there. When I tell people that, they're like, oh, did you live in a teepee? And I'm like, no, it was a fucking wigwam. Read a book. Jesus Christ. No, it's cool though. You guys ever go down 3 Mile? I found out there's a goat farm on 3 Mile. I was going down there, I was just driving, and I got a little excited because I saw goats, and I was like, goats! And then on the side of the road, there was a sign, and it said, eggs for sale. And I was like, and for like just a quick minute, I thought goat eggs were a real thing. I accepted goat eggs as a real thing. I was like, goats! Eggs? Which I'm glad that I came to senses, because like, could you imagine if I knocked on that door and they opened the door and I'm like, I'm here for the goat eggs? I got a story. I got something you guys might not have in Traverse City. I got 3 black friends. Yeah. You guys don't, do you? That's easy. I got 3 black friends, but I noticed the other day that they all had Sony brand stereos in their car. And I was like, well, this is what they mean by black stereotype? Is that what they mean? Is that what they mean? Nah. Who the fuck's got the whistle, guys? If you do that again, I swear to God. Now you're going to do it again, aren't you? I'm afraid to tell a joke because you're going to fucking do the whistle, aren't you? All right. No, it's a black stereotype. It's true because they're stolen. I was walking out to my car the other day, and there was a bunch of Mexicans stealing the tires off my car, and I was going to stop them, but there's too many. Sometimes you just got to let Jesus take the wheel. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh man, spring's coming up. You guys excited for spring? I am so excited for spring. The only thing that I like during the wintertime is that Jehovah's are out of season. Like that's probably the best part about wintertime. They don't come up to your door during the wintertime, at least for me. I know in the summer they come every time. I answered my door drunk one time, and I think they're just trying to save me from now on or some shit like that. I tried my hardest to figure out, like, how do you get them to not come to your door? I considered just open the door naked, do the helicopter. And I don't know. Are they the same as priests? They might like that. I'm not sure. Is it the same denomination? Is that how it goes? I can save you, son. What if I just opened the door and I was wearing like the same outfit they had, like with a book in my hand, and I like beat them to everything? I go, good news! Like just before they knock. I'm like, let's go! I don't know. Like for me, I'm not really like religion person. Like and that kind of makes me think like, what if like atheists like went door to door just like Jehovah's did? Like that would be kind of weird. I'd like knock on people's door and I'd be like, I'm Josh. Just here to tell you your God's dead. Nothing happens when you die. And he'd be like, and I'd like open up a blank book and I'd be like, nah, it's not, nothing happens. You guys like board games? You're white. You like board games. Come on. Come on. You know you like board games. I like board games. I like Clue. Clue's good. My biggest problem with Clue is the characters are pretty out of date. I think they should update the characters, honestly. I think you should be able to play as like more relevant things, like Bill Cosby, the Ferguson Police Department, like a gorilla, you know, just like things that have to do with like today, you know what I mean? So like in the end of the game, you could like have all these crazy like situations. You'd be like, you know, it was like Donald Trump in the foyer with the opioids, or like just some crazy shit like that, you know what I mean? I'd be like, it was, I don't know, just shit that would never really happen, you know? Like, it was Governor Snyder and Flint with the water, you know? Just, like, crazy shit that would never happen. You know what I mean? How about the game of life? I like the game of life. I got a couple problems with that board game, too, though. It's not anything like the game of life. The real game of life is hard, okay? I played the board game with somebody. I played with 5 people. None of us got cancer. Statistically, that's just inaccurate, guys, okay? Somebody's got to fucking die in the board game of life, all right? The biggest problem I have is you got 2 beginning points, right? You got, what is it? It's go to school or just go straight to work, right? That is not how life is, okay? The real life, you got many, many options. There should be at least like 7. You know, you should be able to like start a band or like join the military, be retarded. You should just be like all these different options, you know what I mean? And if you do start off as the special needs one, you got a different spinner, guys. You need a different spinner that only goes up to 6 because you're going to be a little slower than everybody else, okay? All right? And then what about when you land on having a kid? You just put a little piece of plastic in your car and you keep going. That has nothing to do with the game of life, right? If you really land on having a kid, you need to like pay like 20 grand in medical bills, and then you got to move your piece to a totally different board game because the one you're on right now still has hopes and dreams at the end. That's the real game of life. What about Monopoly? Monopoly, that's a hard game, man. That lasts long. In my eyes, like Monopoly, like it's like the game of like world domination and everything. And if you think about it, like North America, like history of Native Americans, like that's a game of Monopoly, right? Like at the beginning of the game, Native Americans had all the good land. They had like Boardwalk and Park Place. By the end of the game, they ended up with Reservation Avenue. White people just keep on landing on free parking. They're like, I'm not even trying. I'm like rolling doubles, going to jail. What the fuck is with that? But that's okay, though. It's all right, because if you get 3 Reservation Avenues, you get to build a casino. Got you there, fuckers. A friend of mine, he was bitching because he called customer service, and he was bitching to me about customer service. He's like, I called customer service and I got an Indian. And I was like, okay. He's like, well, you know, like they can't hear you, they can't understand you, they don't know your real problems and everything. I was like, well, you're talking about Asian Indians. You got Asian Indians in customer service. He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, slow your roll, man. Be happy you got an Asian Indian, okay? Because imagine if it was an American Indian. That whole situation would be completely different. Like, he'd be like, thank you for calling Charter. This is Tonto. Yeah, Tonto. My internet's down. Okay, have you tried turning it off and back on? Yeah, Tonto, that's the first thing I tried. Okay, have you tried moving back to Europe? That's all I got, guys. I'm Joshua Paul. Have a good night.